Did say be I boko? No. Assembly or how many so can be there. Yes, say I buy say when young come share Makumako 200. Then come share 200 now. I buy say we're receiving. And come share 80% of no use.
Captain, the Dika mentioned.
Wow, so I'm person Shazzy.
I think you better point as a grow in the party so. Because so when you heard the way a manner things have started flourishing for us, especially at the economic front and as for I expect government to stay in line, stay focused, and deliver on the mandate Ghana for a share a free so. But in this recent time, this prophecy office, for me, that is absolute nonsense. And it's not something that we must entertain because you see, no country in the world, and I'll go on that particular line of prophecy, and as a forum, I highlight at the national level. I keep telling people, so, the United States of America, Donald Trump, or software they be or Monday White House or Mobile they have a Bible reading and all kind of days or more. But these things, outside the public spectre, you understand? Some of these nema we are okay was subject to reasoning be you cannot justify anywhere because you can't prophesy obi no see as to whether what the person is saying no kra na say no kra say free nyame free nyame you are what as a bino you have no capacity you can't review you it is a worker say or set up a particular office Yamfa prophecy in pen drive so say yam record name famro said the question is a capacity bank and I'll be there analyze it these things because what's it when you're 200 emu 80% is of no use. I don't know Yakofa Moses abeshe them or na your friend is saying or church say way ya na say Yakofa Abraham the number. I think that the nation need to stay focused and dispel some of this nonsense. You see, these guys I'm a Christian, I believe in prophecy. But Captain, you see, this country cannot be held hostage by some individuals and we don't even know where they are coming from. And the fact is that Obi Hunu doesn't mean that the person is coming from God. Because I know people who are not prophets, but they can see and tell you what will happen tomorrow. You understand? So as a state, you see, these issues of religion, faith, and as a forum, because they can never be eliminated by wisdom, common sense, and a year mind using science, data, statistics, and so forth. Because this is not the first time Nipa Kunya accident or more winning as for it happened. But Nipa no, some of the proper measures and I allow for some of these things to happen. You understand? So for me, I think that this particular way is because of the panic and the fear in the system because they see the various accidents and so forth. But Maakye say so. Wait for a troubled day. In a troubled day like this, and that is why you stand firm. You stick to your principles. You don't pander to some of these things because the mere fact will be a common above as for your prophecies has always been obi bewu, omame beye se uba bewu. All these things for me is nasty. You understand? So I was expecting say government will find a way to regulate some of these things. Wouldn't mean so be no cancer or prophecy but you see some of these things, Captain Smarty bewu, you have enemies. Obi betime take advantage no wakun just to justify the prophecy. President obi betime the same thing. So the thing is that ade no se nyankopon hu nyansa yi a kire wa the same nyankopon se o kire nyansa how to get to that particular person. Now we go social media koto atum you are just creating panic and fear. And for me that is where government should focus on making sure say what prophecy can make sure say obi an si wo ho kwan but make sure you get to the person. Stop throwing some of these things into the space causing fear and panic and as a forum. By dedicating a whole office where people will be coming in with prophecy and as well. How do you even explain this to a kid? Say government is receiving your friends a prophecy. How do you explain to a kid? I think that is absolute nonsense. Some of these things, you don't need to give prominence to some of these things. We need to stay focused and make sure so and that is where the focus should be. But some of these things, but the energy and the hotoso more crown you understand? And our individual ways, we all go to church, we do our individual we don't come here to project because these things are personal and we do it at a personal level. But if we get to the point where some of these things are being highlighted by a policy and as a form of now and then as a driver or mind lose focus, some of the things, I know the day people are going to judge you based on some of these things. You understand? So for me, I think that this whole prophecy thing for me, I think that is way below the belt. We should not even waste time talking about some of these things. Rather, no, idea way the best thing government could have done, they say, your Christian Council will chroma, in as much as some of these prophets are not part of the Christian Council, no, maybe this is an institution that is a bit away from government. Or more than the way I'm for the prophecy, find a way, even though you are not their members, but find a way to me, have fear and panic and a year to go from Mamunu to a certain extent will be curtailed. Now the national security implications in our but ye kase aban jejia. I know the day no obi atam na dia or the beba. So question I am beside hono say enti ochina se kwaku bonsam kan asem na eba ma ono say ye bebie office ama abosomfo omo so enti yete ana tegara wura Jubilee House. So ono so the prophecy ko because ono so ohu. What I say? Some of these things you open the floodgate because Abosomfo you also by cancer mama na bama. Are we going to say you know say be officer Abosomfo some far or more prophecy and also more far the obu humra na. Oh, Captain Sanse Bunu na yaso so nyame ben. Sanse Bunu na yaso so yet we see me say nyankopon homo
200 nyame ye
Captain
200
Chrome hade na si.
And you say 80%. And
I say Abraham na said them or 70% of Mungu and Azamine.
But with him, I am.
It doesn't make sense.
I am thinking about something here. Why not who say come channel 80% in any papa 20% in our
That is the question you should be asking. Ebasa, as you are trying to ridicule the entire government, like saying, and I got prophecy detecting machine, AC office, baby. You see, this thing is nonsense. For me, I don't fall for some of these things. You see, I believe in science, data, statistics. Personally, I believe in God, and I know some of these things happen. You see, Maakye said, he doesn't often interfere in human affairs just like that. Too. Let me take you back to your friend saying the Second World War. Do you know the number of people who were killed in this country and in our assassin way so? Where Nyankopon who saw intervene here? Go to Ukraine. And cry God has not easily or the pama as human beings, you know. Nyanside him the order my and yet yes way. And if you pander to some of these things, over that's on your catch say, Mr. President, the whole of July, and don't you think it's going to affect productivity? Because already you've given years and space to some of these people, and at the end of the day, they will manipulate you. Most of them are using psychology, and then as for just to manipulate people because they know say this particular space now you will know. And for the president, I sympathize with you because you see, they went there at the instructions of the president and they were going to work for the president. And I didn't see so you'll be broken because you take responsibility. You understand? Say, oh, so that pain, not that kind of internal way will be with the president. So the people are around at this time, and there's a woman that particular energy, no Gina, ultimately regular out of some of these things. Now you the prophecy about and I say they have a prophecy for good pen drive so bra. Now you try to review, review based on what? And I will be review prophecy will say. You understand? Ebasa yes subjected the state to a state of ridicule. And as for me, I think you see. Things have started working. Mahama Baye, who had the dollar, who had the rate at which the economy now picking, all the ratings are going high, and then as for I think we need to be in that particular lane and project the good things that the government is doing. Sabaya Ghana for Bejiatum. Now some of these offline activities, and then as for now, Mahu Alfred, your friend saying. Honorable free ankra trying you see I think because you see some of these things are okay sometimes we need to appreciate that there are also intellectuals who are part of the community who are also observing things that is happening in Ghana. There are some say maybe captain but some of these things way there and so also in as prophecy the prophecy but as our individual but can you come in here
200 prophecies.
And I'm saying 200 prophecy, no. Moses in the shed them all catch almost 80% in a year, and I said, why necker?
Isaiah.
Okay, or more than Isaiah about them on my own. And the question is that why you suffer the out to me? Or China, Kwakubo and Sam in a bushing and force of Bassi at the idea, but won't mean Casaway because Ghana is a Christian country in Quan. What I say, and the Muslim clerics, then as a forum so shall so I know the day, no. Ya but dying a hobo some dying, or be a time in some movie and all they call her. And that is my worry. Basa, you will not focus and deliver on the mandate that people because Maakye said the last leg that Ghana's democracy we agent so this John Mahama administration because we firm to appoint a Ghana for Abamubu. Said they didn't even want democracy anymore. You understand? And now the hope is returning, confidence once again is returning. People have beliefs. things can be done right. And we hear the numbers, the statistics, the figures, and so far. Things are getting better. But all diverting out the one Kusi Sanema ways no be catch say, the whole of July, men kwajuma. Now, from where I'm coming from, my bottom line is that why they move as so. You must be a fool to think that you live forever. You understand? Me being at the hospital, but I already 6 months a woman, so Obi already 1 year, Obi already 4 years, Obi already at age categories, that is life. Death is part of life. So we should not allow ourselves to be cowed into subjugation and some kind of intimidation because Obi Babewu. We are saying why they it is part of life. So I think we need to, the little time that we get, let us use it to make the good impact that you are making. Then you go. The life continues. So I think that yet me have that particular mentality. Now you stay stronger. Some of these will not move you, will not push anybody. You understand? But for a whole government to make room, say about yes, I never will. I think it's very disappointing in the eyes of intellectuals, and they will begin to question what the motivations are. I understand the country is in the state of your friends saying we are a bit dejected, but I think that this is the time as you pull it together as a country. Now you march it on. At religion at our individual levels, we can continue to deal with our individual prophets at our young level, but see highlighting it to a national and make it an agenda. Say your friends, you prophecy na you 200 na your friends say you may end up wasting resources. And I know me say obi see more car na petrol na say for obi ba jet obi ba ji we know the day no a man for multi-chroma sacrifice I work for a buy no kwa then no monya. What I say. So I think that we shouldn't create room for some of these things. I catch us say we need to me na one care for home. I did they can ira first common sense. Na say I no see nya irawa. Wuntimi nsi kwan mu da. So I think people should take you from some of this. Yeah, at the national level, some of this nonsense cannot be highlighted. I think that at our individual level, we can deal with it.
Many would we on Jim rather for Ghana. Why? Mr. Lucius.
Captain.
200 prophecies, 80% rubbish.
Okay. Captain, that's it. Mami mfa kwanye so na menchi awahwefo na 200 prophecy no me kura me hunu se isa yebeba benya dodo na o hwe within be ye 1 week sa secretariat no be seti no be within a week ya nya 200 enti no on approximation you know say over 1 month yebenya 800
No, but that's like how? What kind of nonsense is this?
800.
I'm sorry, but I'm for service because
where Baba ready within a week. Na me the day na better cheer up na mete no na many Ivan na make say. Say obe set up a IBC no. Kwan ben pa no obe fa so a or the be detect say prophecy we genuine and I say enye genuine. Obe set up prophecy lab. Na wa kope ayi offense prophecy detector. Men ye prophecy bia na be ba no. What they are ye assessment I say. Prophecy we every nyame and I say in free nyame. You see, me say me prophecy di me Christo ni say what kind I think as chapter 17 verse 2 now all and it shall come to pass that in the last days your sons and daughters shall prophesy. What I say? And you know, okay, I say I shall pour out my spirit upon your sons and daughters. International say nyame de honkonkon no ema wa ubetumi ade ubetumi a hye nkom sene ebimu e hye no. Enti no it will sound premature say me make say e bia prophecy a eba bia fake and I say enye fake and in the mintinu enkasa. But in the first place, you know, setting up a secretariat purposely for prophecy there. menhyɛ da hu ehu hia moma ehia sabre we see what you say enye prophecy nko antim yɛte asase so in actual fact just a miniature ade kakra bi a ɛka abrabɔ no ho what you say say enya prophecy that is fine but say of set up secretariat hwɛ bra president care say ye ba be national prayer e wo krom ha see na
but so mama me na yene prophet is it Apostle Matana and prophet Nicholas Emmanuel Apostle Matana what me nka mache
Bacho me too kapa
Bacho bibi aboko there
Bibi Boko, God bless you for the work you are doing. Why are there? Good morning to your listeners as well.
Good morning. That's Pampacho. If Emra almost set up this prophecy review table or presidency, you know, Pacho, when you receive how many prophecies?
Oh, we are receiving quite a number of information. Quite a number of them. 200. I'm not too sure about the figure, but it also well over 200.
Okay. I don't know and if this is correct. On the front page of the Daily Guide, there's a very beautiful picture of Honorable Elvis Efriye Ankra, who is the envoy. And the story says government receives 200 prophecies, 80% of no use. Is that correct?
I would say no use, no. That's why we are dealing with percentage. So what they can say, some of them are really relevant, doesn't carry weight. That's correct, but it's not exact.
Okay,
so approximate.
Okay, 200 prophecies from how many prophets?
So statistics, they are just a corner statistics because if what we can ask that one, we can do more detailed statistics.
Oh, okay. So if
go to the
International say one bro bear 10, there may be more than 10 people, 10 prophets.
But you see, once you're asking specific questions, I have to give you specific answers. Now, someone in the office now, and the questions will inform a lot of things that we have to do so that we can give you specific statistics.
So questions are maybe so you can work on it for me. Number one will be the total number of prophecies. That's number one.
We'll work on it for you.
Number two, the 200 prophecies or more from how many prophets?
Okay.
Number three, which of the prophecies are relevant and which ones are not relevant?
Who determines?
Okay. There are free statistical questions so that we can, talk about the other things of it.
I'm ready, sir.
Prophecies, they are by any irrelevant.
Oh, sir, prophecies now the question. I want to say Bible card. Bible card. Matthew chapter 26 verse 41. It says we should watch and pray. And so prophets, there are signals for us to pray. Now, when we said at this time, a certain group are we are resurrecting that group by the grace of God. From intercessors, end time intercessors commission. What I said, so that some of the things that happen, we can pray about it. So information in there is good to have it. What I said, and that's most important. And the office, what it's doing is it's able to deepen the relationship we have with our clergy. The American say what I said. Because going forward, the clergy, we have a certain silent clergy, and we are very educated, where they can help with a lot more things. But when you open your door like this and create such an office for the, office of everything prayer anchor, I think that is really very good. The mechanism like that said. And so the quantity of information is one thing, but more importantly is the fact that we have to use it to pray. Also, the Bible can say, 1 Timothy 2, verse 2 there about us, pray for those in authority. And the most important information is we are not ceremonial. I want to also make sure that the Pompama is Excellency the President, his cabinet, and everybody.
And come Shana Abanina no Mojitum.
Oh, sir, in Comshano, tell me, the apostle by raising prophets with what I said. And so, but is one thing, but you have to be careful and we have to pray about it. Sometimes, if you are but what I said.
But have you had the opportunity when you are opportunity to listen to some of these prophets that came to the said office with such prophecies.
You know, that is the idea we have to listen to.
But you listen to some of them.
Once the office is open, it is for listening. And we are ready to listen. The only problem is sometimes approach that you're using and yet good. When somebody can go and stand there and say, oh, I want to see the first president, I want to come over, I don't know, be honest to me who president, but president, if you're saying the president, your mama is very calm, wants to receive people, his demeanor is very nice. When you see good procedure, now me, what whom come on is we need a certain procedure, and we want to encourage the prophet to link more with their spiritual fathers. But by so doing, we have a way of helping the body of Christ to work and information from the
Apostle.
Meet you.
Yeah. Ejidifo, Bible no share and say we should be able to call spade a spade. And come shena weti ni na relevant.
Oh, sir, Mami can say, you see, we prophesy in Ukraine. We see in part and prophesy in part. Captain in scripture.
Your line was breaking.
Mami can. Bible says we see in part and prophesy in part.
Okay.
What is the meaning? I don't know there. And see, I'm here careful now. I'm speaking to you and I'm answerable to what I'm saying. So be my prophecy, me, my experience. At 13 years, I'm a prophet. I prophesy for about 40 years. And I prophesy, sometimes I can prophecy. Who can't say, so we're very careful because prayer cry is more powerful than prophecy. Okay, the mechanic. Ghana, we need a lot of education for the prophet.
Apostle prophet, prophecies now what you relevant.
There's no prophecy which is not relevant.
So
every prophecy is relevant. Is relevant so long as it's consistent with God's word. Consistent with God's word,
Okay.
Maakye said, "A year statistics now." And you know long statistics are.
No, I don't want any detailed statistics here. But you being a prophet, you'll be able to discern to know.
Mami can't tell. Not all the prophecies will be relevant. A lot of them are not.
That's right. So who determines?
But who say Captain Mami Castle? Who be some specifics?
Oh no. I don't need details. Say 10 relevant. 12 no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
I can say on authority that a lot of them are not relevant.
Okay, so who determines which ones are not relevant?
Oh, so we have a prophecy and cast scripture who are irrelevant.
But when they came, they told you that it's from God.
No, Captain. My raising prophecy will my maker said. But now man come share. You say Nyamisi did the watch in the afternoon. But I said yes. Prophecy. Now Ghana, he was not yet because everybody was prophesying to me. Some of my sons want to be Ghana, that's the culture of Ghana.
Okay.
Matthias. Again in Ghana, we are going to have a lot of information at MY.
Okay.
That's why you recommend this, make sure you talk to your spiritual father. And then we can have a certain definite culture. Because by that office, it's essentially person as open. We are opening up to everybody to be able to say it's mine so that we don't get to the position we got to, and so we can avert everything by prayer.
Are we prepared as soldiers of the cross to pray to avert, or we are waiting for somebody to come in with a prophecy before the army will take its proper position?
Captain, we are doing both. Information sometimes because you see the watch and pray aspect, Matthew 26:41 is very important. And to bomb if you are you be chair, but the important thing is that, like I told you, what academy started is going to continue. We have learned our lessons and we are going to continue effectively, much more stronger. We don't want anything like this to happen. Right. Look at the people we lost. Captain, what did I make an answer? And so we are committed to ensuring it's be there fine.
Okay. So Pacho, timelines to be your home office, whether the office is operating for say 6 months, 90 days, 2 years or 3 years, or that office is there 4 years.
The office, as long as His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama is president, as long as he has created that office, that honorable office is going to operate 24/7.
Okay.
And we said by the nature of the president, he's very accessible, he's very loving, and he's very God-fearing. And the Mefru is open, we are open, and you can come to us and be able to help you.
Per your rules of engagement, are you to inform the president about prophecies?
I think, once president appoints you, once appointment has happened, you have the honorable duty to report back everything that comes. Okay. What I said, reporting here is very important.
So, meaning...
It's a culture of governance.
Okay. Into some patromo call catch a president. Mobe kade ye papa ni na akire no ma ka bone na ka ho ana mo de ye papa no
because you see some of the things we have to avert it before they happen, but in terms of reporting, it's a reporting year.
So we will have we may have a day or some hours the president will sit to be briefed on prophecies, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
now why are they?
Until you catch a president, we are no why they.
The country president here.
And the president.
That information is our office. And see, a man information, this is what we are doing. Like reporting. That will be our office, we are reporting. What I say.
Okay.
Okay, so he has to be informed. I mean, the president is the kind of person who is very detailed. Some of the meetings come on tell what I say. And he is very critical. So in terms of reporting to him, it's very important. But when and as and when we'll be able to look at it very carefully and move forward.
Okay.
And here is 24 hours. And I think that it's a good thing said that office has been created.
How many prophets na SSA war on my back home? Say Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, UK.
Ghana, no dear. I'm not sure any prophets, no. I'm very proud of Ghana. Maybe we have to export some. But we have to export prophets. All the prophets you hear in the world, all of them have a link to Ghana. My spiritual son was able to mentor some of their prophetic angels before he met Prophet Kusi. And all the things you see around Ghana.
Debbie, my question is not answered. Based on the Bible, biblically, as I said, or maybe how many prophets?
Captain, question is very interesting, but let me try to answer a question. I mean, the Bible didn't say it. I mean, the Bible didn't limit prophet, but check through the Bible anytime anything is going to happen. Let me give an example of Prophet Samuel. Prophet Samuel, the mandate is about kingship and authority. Which one year? The authority was very, very strong. And even when there was Elijah, there were other prophets that God was speaking to. And there was no numbers to it. When Elijah said that he was tired, that he couldn't do the work of God, God told him, there are many more prophets that are going to come to Baal. And the Bible look at a college of prophets. Elisha, there were college of prophets. College of prophets. And when Elijah was about to be taken to heaven, and he moved on from Gilgal to Bethel to Jordan, and the mountain fell over him. The Bible said that. The prophet
Apostle prophet.
Captain,
you are an ordained man of God. I am not. But my question is a very direct and specific.
Okay.
Based on the hermeneutics of the Bible and the Bible itself. But me question now. You may. Who share Bible? I'm in favor of baby question. So Bible no ne kra na ne honhom. Any nyame tumi a ewom. Any Bible akwankyere ne ade yo pa. Esese oman bi anya komhyeni anan komhyefo dodo saying. Based on the Bible.
Every answer question. Every country is good to have a prophet.
A prophet.
But the Bible model now, the Bible model now, every country is good for every country to have a prophet.
A prophet. A prophet.
Is good for, yes.
A prophet.
A prophet, number two.
Okay.
But the Bible didn't stipulate any number of prophets. And I say, Ghana, no one say, I am blessed, we have a lot of prophets because we are very prayerful.
how are we able to tell? How are you yourself also able to tell, sir, whoever says or wearing or bearing the title prophet is a prophet?
Oh, some maybe a prophet, but the criteria. But you see, you also look by the fruits. If I want to be very straightforward. Internet
say, so who prophets now be who they are? Not just so memoir, when who be on your prophet, Papa.
Oh, baby,
fantastic. I'm not going to ask you specifics, but minim Bible mu oye nyame nipa. But emre bia ohini bia be pie wo oman bia so Bible mu no komsheni ba ko pe ne kan ho. During Isaiah's time, during Elijah's time, that is when we heard of the college of prophets. And in the college of prophets, of which even Samuel was admitted into the college of prophets, anytime there's a new king, God will choose just one, a prophet for the king. How come here in Ghana, one president, thousands of prophets?
Mommy can tell. The Bible says, in the last day, I'll pour out of my spirit upon all flesh. And all flesh and all flesh. Yeah, all flesh says, you remember, but let's cut it all. You're a Bible scholar. You know, your young men shall dream dreams, your sons shall prophesy, and all that.
But young kind of in the end of the days, the latter days, I'll pour my spirit.
That's right.
Unto all flesh. The operational word there is the flesh.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And then your young men will dream dreams. So we have to build nations with young men. We will dream there must be a beautiful airport. We dream there must be a quality hospital, diagnosis centers. So the young men, we will dream dreams. And then the young ladies will dream what? Prophet, continue for me.
That's how we continue our Bible.
One on the buy internet person wow carry na yabuao.
Okay, so your sons and daughters are prophesying.
That's right.
I'm not sure what I'm getting right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
that's correct.
Yeah. And so the prophetic move, no, I hear revivals with revival. Also charismatic, no. Those days the revival was very strong. There was a teaching revival. During the days of Prophet Branham, and then we came to the revivals of the Azusa Street revival. Okay, and then we saw a lot of moves, the moves of the Shambaks and all that, the move of the Charles Finney, and then in Ghana, so charismatic move, I did about 40 years old. All the men of God you see, they have background. Somebody from Carvey Road, everybody had a fellowship. Somebody from Agbozo, somebody before Archbishop came, there was Maakye Church of Pentecost and all that. We are in the dispensation of Ghana where one of the things that best the revival of Ghana is prayer. And somebody who is prayer for the outpour of the Spirit is very strong. People like Reverend Dr. Ampiaku from Nigeria. That's what I say. And so the move of God in Ghana is different. Over Nigeria, they are more word-based. We are more prayer-based.
Are you saying, sir, the move of... Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
And when you are prayer-based, a must give to know you're very sharp. The days of Prophet Hammond. I don't know whether you know Prophet Hammond or the Calvary Cross. It's a serious prophet. They prophesy in tongues. The priest of Usu Tabiris and those boys. The Pentecostal days. And see, the days we are living in, prophets they are, everybody wants to exercise the gift. And see, it needs management. Later, maybe we might have to consider regulation of some of this. People will be equipped more to do better. Otherwise, we will not enjoy the gift and the prophet. But it's a blessed thing to have in Ghana.
Papa, I would love to have you one-on-one so we can have enough time to talk about these things. Because
I can come like yesterday. If you ask me to come tomorrow, I'll be there.
Because I say, me want some busa, and not to despise any office or anybody. I think, sir, this is quite too early for a country growing to have an establishment like this sort. And if we are not able to manage it well, with divine instincts and understanding of God, we may end up either hurting this country the more, using that same office, than healing this country. So I think that we should have a proper, in quotes, spiritual consultation before we invite whoever claims to have heard something from God. Medase.
But let me say this in ending. Let me say the intention is very good. And you have to also realize that when you manage this space, it's very, very more dangerous. And so you get interested in managing this space. And I think the office will help to manage this space. And we'll do it well.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Apostle Prophet.
Thank you very much. God bless you, Captain. Right.
God bless you too, Papa. Ebusia edase. Mahama owu. The time on soon you'll be owu. Jena no poku ajimai. Owu. The time on soon you'll be owu. Abba. Lucius.
Captain, Midasi. Wakasa bebre na se na me pebi afa na me ankasa me bre how I me faso apeke nsem no bi na me hyeda enhusu yi. You see, when say okay prophecies na abeba so far anya ne be bensa kan you na mum before the secretariat no prophecies amount for MMA ye no do na no were directed to individuals bimu a bewo aban mu what you say enti no send your prophecies no eye na ekoma individuals no na me expectation eye say bi a obi wo prophecy bi ananya me ayi obi bibi achewa kwan abefa so obehu nipa no de me ngi ni say eye den what you say ha but say koba ni say oman mu no nyina ne ye set up secretariat de ama ho a ekoba ne sa na kame akoya ti say ye open up the floodgate for other religions to also have a secretariat to say the Ghana Education Service obon say Pentecost for abaye pe Pentecost Education Unit Roman for abaye pe unit say na press before abanti the secretariat unit education sector. Sabi ni presidency won so me gidi say sabi we ya start say ya create a whole secretariat for prophecy no ochina no Islamic Council no so ebeba abeka say bensu behia bensu be de wo honom na ye traditionalists no so abase bensu behia secretariat. Don't forget say the National Day of Prayer na President Kese yebeye no the first one ye are you for friends and traditionalists no ebe care say ba fre ye papa mo muslimi for afre a christopher na so be de bejabe mu what you say enti no na kame akoya say a discrimination ne ye no krum high see enti me gidi say in the next National Day of Prayer no they will be captured in a similar vein no sa anso me akiro say sabre ya yama a christopher that secretariat no the other organs no so be dey ebeba but me hunu say about or minor there say or minor ni so adi hunu ani manifesto na eda honom no what you say ni yes answer prophecy bi answer sa ni prophecy bi answer ensin the national directive principle a eda honom no your NDPC wo ho what na mecho na say and no the main prophecy wo ho prophecy bi answer say ya ka say ye ba be rules. What you say? Say one ya kwan na nipa bewu. Obi enu kwan say professor akiro. Ana me bua captain. Kwan no ene say o hwe ayi records a ye woda ho a statistics na che say from January to June nkwampo no about 1504 life is being lost to accident. What you say? E won hia so be professor say kwan one ya accident be si. What you say? Enti say about on minor dia me feel say eno no nke betimi atwentwen ase kakra na ebenya ebia te se ne prof Mills nyame mfa ne crazy ne oyeye na ye wo ebimu wo ayi presidency ho abebo mpaye no betimi anya ebimu abebo mpaye that is fine but say ye be ye ayi secretariat wo ho say owo prophecy afabre no sa prophecy na wo de ban eye obi mom ne ekoma no adenti a on reach out to nipa no na won kan chen say ade bi say ni mahu afa ho enti no nyame ka akire me say e bi abompaye o chi ase say obi prophecy no ye de kwa akofa president na akọ president wo no mom ni afre won say obisa specific question say ye de ye benya a day a ye be frɛ president ye briefing on prophecies aba
the president ya frɛ president not na kodwa
no okay say
na asofo akotena nanim na ye kan kom kyerɛ prophet president
enti na ya kan kyerɛ no enti nipa no ntacha president ni be frɛ nipa no say prophecy bi aba concerning what say BBC ABC.
Now what catch president on your day?
I don't hear call for president so answer na do nipa.
President or Ezekiel. And I
don't hear so call for president so answer na do nipa.
Anyway,
you see,
senior, interest.
Captain, remember there say you see.
Interest.
There be a meka no obi age nyame asem di ne for but you see Nyankopon yi ade a kire obi is a different thing altogether and the wisdom to communicate is another thing. One thing we can easily see some of these people who talk about ade efe ni nyansa do na nibi because you can't just be standing in public Captain Smart bewu omra mehu me na no mehu young guy be the tower gu ni come to social media John Mahama mra mehu ono na Nyankopon what kind of nonsense is this? We cannot create room for some of this. And you see, explanation now, woman, all go back to Bible. You see, Bible is something that was written to guide our lives. You understand? Because now, because our reason can say what God has put together, let no man put up. So what damn?
What God has put together, you put together. No one is now.
Now, we can irritate. And a guy no ko US no yase ne papa ehu de na sofo no de ye ne ba o kan ya so mungu aware sofo no se ono no aware a wa putu together na bia nguda enti o mpene bo mungu aware no omoni ba omo so na be ma na boba ne tu aku no say what God has put together let no man put that wo bodam na aware na for ma Nyankopon me ware ye. You see, some of these things are prevailing social circumstances are available and ye de boy bra. Now, ubisa say unjustified. I feel your honey, young people want to see the reason behind what you're doing. Give them the reason. I think you see some of these things and I'm sure we need to focus. My catcher said the government is making a lot of gains. That is where we need to focus. But I think this office should be just scrapped because you see it insults everyone. I see the
no, it's a positions NASA. Not this one.
Yeah, and I feel Ankra is one of the vibrant, energetic individuals.
Not this. I mean,
I've seen him in the past. He's very energetic.
So we have a minister of local government, chieftaincy, culture, and religious affairs.
Okay.
Professor no. Exactly.
No. Because the gentleman is very energetic. Or Juma, I think say or more reassign it to something. I'll wait me Juma or mine and some fast.
That is a camera with.
Okay, then sitting down to be hearing some of these.
Because you're saying
oh no, Yapon says David, don't do that. Our prophet Nadia time.
You go break cover. Yet here, you may see.
Abina. Edi asema, menya oden. O tianti mu amanfo ada. O hye me boso obeto phone na mama me phone na say dada. Menya oden.
The most surprised man.
Surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi papa. E phone o. iPhone 13. Nanya ne.
Ende, me fanko fo bi mienu. Amu ko circle. Ene ba ko ni ka tina dan for hour. Ono odi ni Ghana card. E ko EBA phone so a. O tua 40% pen e di ni phone man no a. Da aka no betu ani kakra. Timothy ya me drop na me so me call ho and I'm going to phone the brown.
Oh, Kofi Papa me da say. I mean shroud.
What EBA phones had ye, yet on iPhones ne ho akade nyina. Ye sanso de ma wholesale. So ye dealer na so pedudu atua and na se afi na wo share iPhone business na sia. Braya sia ye, hwehwe ye chira kwan e wa Accra Circle Mall. Any tiptoe lean, modern photos in chain. American Monso, ye ni odor rice ene di nhwenim. Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsainim. Obetumi so hu ye e wo www.ebaphones.com. EBA Phones. No hassle cry.
Oh no, my skin is breaking out.
Same here. Blemishes everywhere.
Mine feels so dull.
Mine feels like sandpaper, rough and dry.
And the wedding is just weeks away.
For Everclear Acne Control Soap. Scrub, 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 bye-bye acne. For Everclear Natural Lightening Soap. Glow up, baby, glow up. For Everclear Blemish Control Soap. Hello, radiant skin. For Everclear Exfoliating Soap. Smooth like a baby's bum. For Everclear Bar Soaps are formulated to cleanse your skin of acne, blemishes, dullness, and rough patches. Used in addition to a range of products for radiantly smooth skin. Your skin will be forever clear. Forever clear. Still caring for tomorrow's beauty needs today.
We are ready for the wedding!
Hey, what about me?
Our skin is forever clear.
Say I got to move here to Tumban to see malaria now.
Sister Kusi, say or say a room, not on Timmy and one year. Say when you malaria. I'm echo job interview. Malaria tea. One shot, Nissan Kejuma. I draw your bonting and man after 4 ethic classroom is at the agent. Say when you malaria. Or fire near Adriani and then your fire 80 minutes man is so big. So when you malaria, or who do have swap or swap associate. Monomoto now into me ended. Science and I be here. I don't Maakye mixture. So I don't Maakye area. No, I do every malaria mood here. You be here be a I don't natural tonic. Onuma, Onomotoso now did Shabusia. Malaria tea ka almost sure omo adipe. Adum Maakye mixture. And adum natural tonic. Sebi wa onchen they be a hoden. So ko test na wo malaria. Na osaka adum Maakye mixture. Eno for treatment of malaria. And adum natural tonic die. Onuma unya hoden na wonum so toso do atwa. Dependable herbal home. Madina New Road Greenhouse. Kaswa opposite Datus International School. 024-2223-555. Ubanya yendre yato ewo pharmacy. Any herbal shops. Ewo mayim. Edre enyama apimfo. Emba awoma omba no. Any enkola mu di fedu nsi. FGAG edwede ekra.
I was saying, Koya, Sayaba, you didn't come Shana to Chay. You can't want some of that for Ivan,
Captain.
A one who say, see UK, say, how much for letter be said, a Chief Justice, no, I suspended law. Lawyer for we so much to UK. So much Rockrata, say, and fancy so almost okay.
And I think it's absolute trash. And Captain, you see, sometimes they see a honor and they may give you room for some of this nonsense. It'll be at baby, I bet me at what be a goose just like that. You see, Ghana and yet disconnected from the global world. And it's a near my course will crewman said, Obi free said near Mankoya, Obia or Mwakenya, you don't even need to be a lawyer. Obia or Mwakenya to express your opinion and what you think should be done. It is done everywhere. Yet we don't live in America, but some of the more foreign policies, you know, how to say Ukraine, Russia war. Sometimes we all sit here and express our opinion, even though we are not part of that country. It happens everywhere. So the same way Obi to UK now they cost Ghana now they satisfied that Obi to actually now. But Captain, the thing is before you speak, get your fact right. Again, you should also know your limit. The jurisdiction. Because you see, Oko Court now could be the first judge in the can consider and son or share assembly jurisdiction. Because only jurisdiction over here case in another day, everything becomes useless. So Nipa na assembly walk you need to consider the kind of jurisdiction you find yourself and the kind of way a bit in the first place. Nobody has the right to command the president of the Republic of Ghana to do anything. Why the basis is grounded in law. Those people, now I think that nonsense was written from a museum of some colonial relics. I'm not think it's Ghana is some kind of a colonial trophy. Anybody at all can just sit anywhere and write any nonsense and they throw it on us. I don't know whether indeed it is coming from Commonwealth or whatever. Now, if they are really lawyers, maybe school no more and common sense wasn't part of the syllabus, because a common sense you'll be guided and you'll be very sensible. You know, in some now you are sending it to a sovereign country. Ghana is your friend is governed by law. Law ni yankobubu law no from in so law na guide a man for globally na bia na guide yan. And near man President Mahama ya say suspend the Chief Justice and nti omo commander na say the basic question that you should be asking yourselves is at what point and a president afom emra omo say maame omfa na mra captain. I have a constitutional provision here me de be ma na we ready. Na me sure say ye nyina ye be clear na yati ya ho ase kan ade we ma me 10 down also no article 146 10A,
where a petition has been referred to a committee under this article, the president may A, in the case of the Chief Justice, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice.
And since a way a lawyer, nasa nye not here no good tima. Nasa what kind of deal ya? Because the law gives that discretionary power to the president. It's discretionary. That's why the Constitution says may, or he may decide to let you stay or take you out. And my country said President Mahama is not the only president to exercise this particular constitution, and that's why he invoked this constitutional provision. Akufo-Addo did it when Justice Derry and 4 others were suspended pending an ongoing investigation. So this is not the first time. So the question is that dear Bemra na President Mahama former enunti kwabraneti ni kurom no in their twisted head no thinking say obetimi aba my instructions say a sovereign country no should act na yamfa ma menomra when ade na nipa na ye no is grounded in law. There is no basis, and I think that what makes me the arrogance in display. And the other side is the ignorance of Ghana's constitutional reality, because the Ghana constitution, I am not sure that we're putting up this nonsense together, because this particular provision clearly president acting will act outside the law. Saying President Mahama act outside the law, and they'll be the first person to come and sit here and tells him say what circumvented the procedures lay out. Yes, people can make argument to say process now fast so remove Chief Justice it's not fair. If it is not fair, it is not the process, it is the constitutional provision over the years. And don't forget free China no a Chief Justice. And you know what is involved. And the idea for the Charlotte said the money coffee, the Shraj boss, the woman was part of it. And then the woman is fighting this thing in the various court, and then or they do ECOWAS. Or they do ECOWAS squad or some $10 million in farm because you're good in the master and then as a forum. This is the point of not fighting. So I know the day is the only basis to fight her. Why would she take the issues to court? And they say, oh, baby, we can advise the process should be very transparent. And say, the process thus far has been transparent. People argue, say, you see a man lawyers crying, a man in Conquatana, the banner bar, some lawyer committee in Nayapamomo. Dabena and other assembly court and the court to go to Guianano or the high court is assembly of the ban has no basis, because already the case as the state the first saying Supreme Court and the only who can say about abuse the court process. I was under the same issue about, and then the whole thing was trashed. So it's not as if say some are dissatisfied with Neman or Mode Yanana, the right place for remedy a court, or the court almost bear 3 times, or the choir Bobia to a be pendant, or so on Ghana court to know that they could do ECOWAS. Almost the way. And I will have some of the relief now seeking from ECOWAS now. It's quite funny, because he was also asking ECOWAS court to quash that particular suspension. And my country says, you see, you don't need to go to law school to learn, say, ECOWAS court cannot instruct the president of Ghana to acting within a law, say, quasi ruling and as for or so I think say all these things, and then what you have decided how my and your share.
Lucius Kasa Kakrana and Co. Say I said Tuesday, no, your best strategy be Tuesday name.
Very important.
You mean to me at least I knew 10 sharp there. You never 1.5 hours we could say, Anna. Yeah. Next week,
Mammy issue, me name the Mammy and Casa Ope. onye the only person ya suspended organ. In the first place, no ye na di. Obia ni ho na wayi maame na di. You see, but or act it is I say, yeah, in addition, on court na fie, near be a crampo na compensations be as en cabedi man ben farman. Meanwhile, so I didn't say, one cassa we am running me out when say, the same article now the ma captain, a can you know. The same place now a mandate president to say, or be appointed who offense
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, because can 144 now. And then the child say the Chief Justice shall be appointed by the President, acting in consultation with the Council of State and with the approval of Parliament. Yeah. The same place, you know, the same constitution now, my President no kind say on appoint you. Onua kusa constitution ansan so che say pese you adia mpoa say pese you adi mpoa yemfa kwan we so enye dey eniu in the first place ya petition president into now pese president enye dey on petition no ento that beam na say onye dey sabe be ya others no so be petition no so be ka say onye fair and assessing. Yes. Once I petition president, the constitution nature say on refer case no Emma one kasa na won hwe say merit wom and I say merit nim. One kasa wadi atum. Constitution no mandate president no say on set up committee. Wa set up committee say ben hwehwem. And na ba bia committee no be hia no ehohu mempe ho. Say na all na opinion na e be ya ma. Aden Ghana no minim ono like our percentage bia like ye nim ana.
Anyway, my emphasis here next week, you know, yeah, Tuesday no wajuma, cause Tuesday ni day modia, and last week is anam day mo, but next week day.
Next week we have a fight.
Oh, that be next week, Yankosa. Trust me. We'll work on it quickly. I say, show me now kahuna ye inti commercial interviews, no. Quanim inti. You're doing Tuesdays, no. By next week I'll come up with something, and then the team will affirm. Nafe, yet me, no fine. But happy 50th birthday in my dear sister. Now, sister, wait the 50 years. Now, sister Nidiama. Nemu unuanom nana yaw eye bi nana Mary and Marian Kwaku Ofori Obeng and Maakye Kwaku Ofori Obeng our KU2 Ventures almost say almost show happy birthday one kasa wudi nka ho nti sister wudi 50th birthday from your brothers and sisters nana yaw Mary and Marian, Kwaku Ofori Obeng, Maakye, Kwaku Ofori Obeng, our K2 Ventures. So we now will show happy birthday. Yapon, Mrs. Mavis Obeng, Mrs. Mavis Obeng Edu. Woody no. Mrs. Mavis Obeng Edu. Happy birthday. Bye bye.